The Flash creator Eric Wallace expressed hope for more Arrowverse crossovers in his answer. The Flash has completed its conclusion after 9 seasons spread over 9 years, broadcasting its final episode on May 24th. The CW's primary DC universe, which blossomed with 8 spin-off programs over the mid to late 2010s, has virtually come to an end now that all of its Arrowverse shows have either finished or were cancelled. Even though the Arrowverse lasted 10 years, there hasn't been much optimism for the shared DC TV universe's future, particularly in light of the fact that Superman and Lois takes place on a different Earth and Justice Issue was cancelled. What will DC TV produce after The Flash? Eric Wallace, the showrunner of The Flash, expressed optimism for the future of the Arrowverse in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. "I still am hopeful that the Arrowverse is not over. I've approached it as The Flash is over, and I want to make the best Flash series finale as possible." Should Superman and Lois be renewed for Season 4, the producer hinted that he will persuade Todd Helbing, who directs the show, to sneak an Arrowverse crossover into it. "I'm going to have lunch with Superman and Lois showrunner, Todd Helbing, in the next couple weeks. And I'm going to tell him, if you get a 4th season, you've got to sneak some Arrowverse in there. You are now carrying the torch." Helbing, meanwhile, stated that he'd love to bring Grant Gustin on. Helbing also mentioned a wish to incorporate some cross-pollination between Superman and Lois and The Flash. "I will say this, it sure is a lot easier now that the other shows aren't on the air. People's schedules are a lot easier to work around, so, maybe. I would love to bring Grant on, and I think it would be a lot of fun to have Candace, to have Iris with Elizabeth Tulloch's Lois Lane. So we'll see." Could there really be another crossover in the Arrowverse? The interconnected superhero series on the CW gained notoriety over time for their extravagant yearly crossover events. However, the pandemic destroyed any preparations for such events once it started. The year 2021's Armageddon was an effort, although most people would agree that its scale seemed far too constrained and self-contained. The CW series Superman and Lois takes set in a totally different other reality than The Flash and Arrow, one in which Clark Kent is the lone superhero, as was established in a Season 2 episode of Superman and Lois. Character crossovers would seem challenging given the remote location, but multiversal travel is nothing new for such shows. The Flash frequently used a device, especially in the first several seasons. Therefore, it's possible that Eric Wallace and Todd Helbing may be able to come up with something for the fans, but it all depends on whether Superman and Lois will receive a new season. This might not happen since the CW's new management wants to change the show's content. In the event that it is not to be, perhaps an Arrowverse movie will be made? Oliver Queen is a role that Stephen Amell, who played on Arrow for all 8 seasons and recently reprised on The Flash, has indicated interest in taking on for a movie or limited television series. Every Tuesday, the CW airs a brand new episode of Superman and Lois.